Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to a video, and today we're going to be checking out this guy. And now this is the AKK FX3. Now this is a little 20 by 20 video transmitter that boasts some pretty impressive features. So there's that. Let's just take a look at what else you get in the box. You just have a little quick start guide. So it tells you the frequencies and everything, how to operate through the menus, quite nice, as well as the pinout. And then we have the antenna cable, which is the nice little locking connector, so that stays in. And then we just have this power lead off for that. And then you have your video cable coming out there. And this does use the MMCX connector. You can see we have a little SMA pigtail extension. And this guy is about 100 millimeters long. So if we take a look at the VTX itself, right away, hopefully you can spot the MMCX connector up here. So that's just going to plug in, and this is much more robust than a UFL connection. It's not going to pop off anytime soon, and it has way more mating cycles. And down here we just have the connector for all your inputs, and then here is the little button to change your channels and bands, and then there is the LED display for the frequency readout. And on the back, it's kind of weird that they use sort of like a double board design. Hopefully you can see that. I'm not sure why they went with that. Maybe that means this is replaceable if this burns out. Not sure. Some of the cool features about this is that it's able to transmit on 25, 200, 400, and 600 milliwatts, as well as it has 40 channels there, and it does include smart audio control, so that's really nice. So let's just get a quick weight on it. This guy is pretty small, but it is feels a little bit beefy for its size there with all the features. So it's 4.56 grams, so it's definitely not bad. So just a quick little bench overview of this guy. Okay, here we are. I have the AKK FX3 installed into a quad. This is a little 4-inch guy here, and I just replaced a Eachine VTX03 that I had on here. So basically this board just goes up top, and it's on the last layer of my stack here. And the way I wired it up is I just took the voltage in for the VTX and just ran it straight to the battery pad, so it does get full voltage. And then I just ran the video to the flight controller, since this guy does have an OSD. I did not run the 5-volt out from the VTX to the camera. I'm powering that through a 5-volt from the flight controller there. But it does have a 5-volt out for your camera if you do need that. And hopefully you can tell, because of the way the MMCX connector comes out, I actually opted to use a right angle MMCX connector there instead of the straight one. So that way it sort of fit. It was a tight fit, and these are M3 holes on the VTX. They're M3, however this stack is M2. So basically what I did was I just stuck it on there, and I just used M2 nuts. It still tightens down, it just doesn't fit perfectly, but if you tighten it with nuts it won't wiggle. But just be aware of that. And then I ran this out to the SMA, and I didn't have any good antennas like a MMCX antenna that would go straight to the antenna. I had to use the SMA, and this was this antenna extension that I used, the cable actually was RPSMA, so I had to use an Aomway cloverleaf, and I just strapped it to the arm there. And that's actually not that bad of positioning. However, when you're relatively flat, it puts the dead zone out of the cone of the antenna straight back towards you if you're going away slightly, so that will hinder performance. But overall, that's going to be perfectly fine, and it actually will be decently durable. I mean, I don't really care about these antennas. They're like $5 anyways, but it was just for the testing purposes. I would probably swap this out with hopefully Ornaxi MMCX, and stick that right there, and that would do much better. Alright, so let's take this out, get a little flight footage with it, and see how it performs. Alright, here we have the Stealth XS4 with the AKK FX3 on board. I have this guy on F2 5760 on 600 milliwatts. And I'm just cruising around here making sure everything's okay. Video looks great, and I am using a clear view so that the DVR doesn't suck. But I do use a clear view on everything, so let's go out a little bit farther here. Video's still looking perfectly fine. And I do have the antenna mounted in a actually pretty bad spot. So this is definitely good results. Performing just fine a little bit farther out here. Come back along the road. Behind a few buildings right now, so signal gets pretty bad there. Yeah, looking just fine. Definitely. Let's go out a little bit farther. Obviously there's probably going to be no problems here. 600 milliwatts. Let's go out to the lake. Right there. Pretty decently far out. Maybe a quarter mile, something like that. Definitely, that's just about as far as I fly. I don't really tend to go much farther than that. Especially not on a little 4-inch like this guy. And I am running this off of full battery voltage, and there is barely any noise, just tiny bit of noise.
1 minute.
And then I have a RunCam micro swift for the camera. Looking just fine. Alright, my fingers are totally frozen, so let's bring it in and then finish up this review. Okay, so here we are back after that testing, and do note that I was using the clear view, so that will skew the results a little bit. And when testing a VTX, it's really kind of subjective. You're not really looking at the video recording you're getting out of it. Obviously, it's going to vary depending on your antennas and your setup and the day and what you're flying behind. It's really more of how the VTX works for you, the form factor it comes in, and the features that it offers. If we take a look, I'll plug this quad in here so we can hopefully get a little look at the screen on the little LED display. Let's see, it's kind of hard to show on the camera here. So you can see it flashing away there. It just sort of it tells you your channel, your band, and then your power level. So I'm pretty sure I set this guy to F2 on power level 4, so you can see it says F2.4. So that means I'm on 5760 at 600 milliwatts there. So it's really easy to know what channel it is and power setting, as it labels it out clearly. You don't have to mess with a bunch of small LEDs in a row. And then the button to change that is just on the side. But of course, this guy does also have smart audio. However, in this quad, I did not hook it up. I just really don't prefer to mess with that. I'd rather just press the button a few times and be done with it. But of course, a lot of you guys do want to use smart audio, and this does have it. So other than that, there's not really that much else to say. Like I said before, it's a VTX, and as long as it's not crap, they're usually pretty good. Obviously, I can't verify the power outputs it's putting out. I don't have an RF meter, but it should be pretty decent. I didn't have any issues, like I said before. And if you're looking for a 20x20 VTX with MMCX connector with smart audio, this might be a good one to check out. So there will be a link down below in the description. If you're interested, please subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.